All right, welcome guys. This is going to be a Pyro only no hit guide. Pyro is probably my favorite restriction in any of the trilogy games, in Dark Souls 3 specifically, just because it's just a lot of fun. I think it's like a nice little like lead into SL1 maybe as a next run, but as a second run for Dark Souls 3, for example, Pyro only is a lot of fun. So obviously, yeah, we picked the Pyromancer and the Young White Branch. I'm currently running this for all bosses, so there's going to be a couple slight routing differences that I'll just call out when we get there. Here we can just unequip everything, and then we're going to grab the blue flask. To get the blue flask, just run straight at it, grab it, and just roll out of the way. You just want to kind of make sure you're full sprint the whole time there. And I keep the blue as like my primary hotbar item. You use it way more than you use the yellow, so. This is normal. We're gonna just be running through. You do upgrade the Pyro Flame with Titanite shards, so we're gonna be grabbing the shards, kind of like a normal run. Dodge the arrow, you kill that guy. These guys won't chase you in. You just don't want to be shot in the back is the only thing, that guy. So yeah, here we're gonna kill Gundyr. The first fireball, you have to free aim because you can't lock on yet. You can lock on for the second one. And we do 3 to start. And you just kind of want to wait for big moves like this. Anything where he has to turn around for a while, basically. This is good as well. Got pretty good RNG here. And yeah, obviously, just want to be careful. You should phase transition now. And phase 2. Phase 2 will be pretty normal. Just normal attacks here. He'll sometimes stagger if you keep the damage up well enough, but not something you should rely on. There he goes. And the L2 on the flame is combustion, so I use that if an enemy is very close to being dead. We're gonna do a little setup in Firelink. There's a couple items we get so we can upgrade. Vordt is like unironically maybe the hardest boss in the run. He's like extremely scary. But if we play our cards right, we can skip phase 2, which is very nice. So we're just gonna run up here. We're gonna grab the Ember. Here I like to switch the Pyromancy to my left hand. The reason for that will be clear soon. You can keep it on your left hand too if you want, it doesn't really matter. But here I like to throw around those rocks, and I don't want to hit the rocks accidentally with my right hand. We're also going to use the left hand moveset for something else in a sec. Next, we're going to gather some more things. You can switch. I like to put the Estus on my tool belt here, and I get rid of the other items as well. We're going to tree jump for the bones. We're going to get an extra blue Estus and the serpent ring, because this is a fairly greedy run. There's like certain soul levels that we want to hit at certain bosses. So I'm going to grab this. Just hop down and equip the ring. And then we're going to sell the stuff to the Shrine Handmaiden and buy a dagger and 10 firebombs. You don't really need the firebombs as much, but they do come in handy in a couple places. And then I'm just going to sell everything that isn't needed. So the hand axe, the shield, and then all the armor you can sell. And that should get us enough for 19 int. Also, make sure you allot your Estus. I forgot to do that, so I'm cutting this in here. But we're going to reinforce, and then we're going to get 1 yellow and 4 blue. So that'll be our first level we want to hit here. And then, you know, arrange your items how you want. I like getting the fire bombs and the bones on the tool belt, or on the hotbar. And then we're going to go to High Wall. There's 2 ways to go through High Wall. Just like usual, you can do the fast way where you kind of like just run through and then go up, and then there's the 3 hollows up top. That's just, you know, pretty standard stuff that's covered in my guides, my other guides. So I'll show you the slow way instead, which is nice, but definitely slower. So we're going to come up here. We have the left-handed Pyro Flame. Kill this guy. Come down here. Kill this guy. And you kind of need to kill him early, because otherwise this guy will wake up, and the hollow's behind you. Oh boy. Yeah, don't miss that fireball. If you don't hit the enemies with the full impact of the fireball, they only hit the AoE. It can not kill them in 1 hit. Grab the fire bombs there. This guy won't aggro. And then I'm gonna switch to the right hand, and we want to kill this guy, and then 2 fireballs to kill this guy. And we're gonna wait for these hollows to come down. Again, if you were just running through, you would just run up here, dodge through the 3 hollows up there, and then just proceed. This is like kind of a slower, safer way to do it, but it's a lot slower. So if you're just doing like a single game run, or it's like just any percent or whatever, then you might want to just do the fast way where you like run up here. But either way, run up here, trigger the dragon, let him kill these guys. You can run through. Oh fuck, dude, I forgot to attune my Estus. Shit. Alright, quick editor Baryon. Editor Baryon. Make sure you tell them to attune the Estus. Okay, we'll do it here. Or allot the Estus, I mean. Alright, sorry, I had to cut something in because I forgot to allot my Estus, but once you're over here, you can you want to watch this like ninja guy. You can just throw a fireball down here, and it will not break the barrels, so you can just kill him. And we just want to get these fire bombs. Probably not necessary, but they're there. It's free, and you don't want to get knifed in the back by that guy, so. Even more fire bombs here. We're gonna drop. And heal up. So there I did something called Estus canceling. I kind of do it a lot. It's more of a habit now, but I'll explain it more when we get to later parts, but it's kind of a way to like cancel your Estus animation while still getting the Estus back. It's not necessary for the run or anything, and it took me like years to actually get any good at it. So yeah, just run up here, run straight through. You should be on a good cycle to avoid these guys, and then roll into the door so you don't get stuck. Pretty rare that you'll get stuck there. You can kill the lady. If you don't have as much FP as me left here, you can also just punch her with the flame. That's allowed. And we're just killing her for the souls. She just gives you like 1,000 souls. Make sure you don't step there and trigger the dancer fight or anything. Then yeah, up next is Vordt. Vordt is, like I said, probably one of the scariest, if not the scariest boss in the entire run. Maybe next to Pontiff. mostly because of the risk of fighting phase 2. So I'll make a save state here in case I mess it up. I don't think I'll mess it up because I've been pretty consistent with it, but don't want to lose the run for no reason. Okay, so drink up if you haven't. You should have 3 left. I think even having 2 left is fine. Maybe even 1. I don't know, but you should have enough here. We're going to do 3 fireballs to Vordt's head. Then we're going to get him close to phase transition, drink Blue Estus, trigger phase transition with 3 fireballs, and then hit 5 more fireballs to skip phase 2. So that's the plan. Let's see how well it goes. You should be doing 96 damage. And there we go. And 3 fireballs, no more, because he will charge after you if you do a 4th. And pretty normal Vordt fight where you kind of just, you know, just like a normal run, you kind of just want to end up on his side. You might miss sometimes. Got to hit a couple more fireballs. I don't know if this is enough. Do I do one more? That might be phase. Damn it, dude. Well, we triggered him early. I guess we might see a little phase 3 here. So yeah, do 1 fewer fireball than that, and should be better off. So we want to hit him from the front once. And with Vordt, the main thing is just having space to fight him. You want to get out of these like corridors and kind of go far away. Here's some of his moves here. You luckily only need to get a couple hits in if you do trigger a phase 2. Yeah, if you manage your Estus better, you can get all the hits in during the phase transition and just skip it completely. I don't want to commit Editor Berry onto this, but I can just snap a clip in of how that looks. But it's nice to know phase 2. You know, if you have to reset for some reason, it's the 10 minutes in, so it's not a huge deal. But you know, Vordt resets are annoying. I've been there. Okay, so next, I like to just do this little back step onto the carriage here. Doesn't matter if you hit the ground, I just like to not lose as much health. Kill the dogs, grab the skulls, heal up, and then just make sure you have your black fire bombs and skulls ready. We're gonna do the usual firebomb throw here that you probably do from any percent. If you miss the firebomb, you can throw a skull or try to fight the dogs with the fireball. I don't really recommend fighting the dogs, to be honest, but I guess if you really enjoy it, you can do that. And then we're just going to kill these guys with fireball, and you can see here the nice utility of being a ranged build is we don't have to, you know, melee these guys at all. We can just chill back and hit them from really far away. You don't need this shield. I'm getting it for all bosses, but you don't need it. You can just run down here and hop down. Nice hard fall. Want to grab this Estus shard and roll into this hollow so he doesn't poke you. And we're gonna run. Here we'll grab the soul hanging from this body as we go down the stairs. And just run through like normal. Pretty normal for a bit here. We are gonna do something a little interesting after we get all the stuff from the settlement. You want all these Titanite Shard pickups, all the soul pickups that you would get on a normal run. Go on to that guy. You can run down this way because you don't need the sharp gem or anything. And we're gonna run over here. This is all normal any percent. For this guy, you just want to bait him off, just like usual. And then we jump up here. And you can just let the giant kill the other hollows. So,
Do you want pasta?
yeah. If you can. We get the Mortician's Ashes for skulls later. You can grab the Ember, the Branches, the Soul, the Bone Shard. Don't forget the Bone Shard. Make sure both these guys die. If only one of them dies, you'll need to roll into this hollow here. But they usually both die if you kind of do the pathing that I just did. Here we don't need to despawn Aldrich, which is nice. Once again, we're going to switch the Pyro Flame to the left hand. Because it's going to let us kill these hollows easier. And we don't need to despawn Aldrich because we're going to sit at the bonfire up here. And just walk off here. Very normal stuff. I need this bonfire for all bosses, but you should get it for this run anyways, just because it's easier just to get the item we're about to get and bone back. Okay, so we need to kill this hollow, and there's another third hollow up there. You can kind of line up a firebomb. I recommend binding the W key to walk forward so that you can like point your head at something and then just walk forward and line it up. And then we can just throw a firebomb here. Yeah, it just kills both of them. Say you don't kill both of them, you completely whiff the firebomb, whatever. All you do is you come over here and you just, with the left hand, kill the hollows. You can lock on. If you do that, this hollow, like the hollows next to them, will like aggro, so you want to like go back, let them de-aggro, but it's much faster to just hit the firebomb. And then this guy, you kind of like angle this around the corner, switch, as you can see, the flames back in my right hand now. And we're gonna grab Cornix, and then we're gonna hop down here and just make sure you kind of stick to the sides and run around, because there's this guy and we don't want him to aggro to us. And this is the Fire Clutch Ring, so very important for a Pyromancy run, of course. And now we're going to come down and just kind of pop some souls. If the Evangelist here gets stuck, you can just go and sit again. If she keeps walking, we're going to be good to go. She kept walking, so we're good. If anybody gets stuck here, it looks like it's not going to happen, but you can, again, just kind of line it up with your head, press the W key, and kind of just aim like this and throw a firebomb. You'll hit him. It's nice to have little like firebomb lineups for stuff if you need it. But no one got stuck this time, so we're good. Okay, and run down here, grab the Ember. We're gonna kill this guy. Oh, we do want to put Fire Clutch on. I'm realizing now I don't have it on, so it's not a one-shot. Yeah, you do want to put Fire Clutch on, obviously. It's an important ring to have. And, you know, my normal strat here is just kind of wait for these guys to be on the bridge, and then walk over here, trigger their pot throw, roll the pots if you need to. And then we're going to come over here. And we're going to get these skulls from the dogs. Once the dog's, like, head disappears, you can just walk over, throw 2 firebombs like this. You don't want to go too far because you'll aggro the other dog, but if you do it like I did it there, you should be fine. Here's an example of an Estus cancel. Hopefully I can hit it, actually, but if you're facing, like, a different direction than forward, and you use your Estus, lock on, and then move a little bit in, like, some direction, you can just cancel the animation of it. So super nice, like, tech, especially for runs where we use a lot of Estus. like having that be efficient is really nice. Thank you. All right, here we are going to do this drop. We have barely enough to survive the drop. I take off all my rings here. I don't know if you actually need to do that, but let's test it. It's always good to test stuff. But you just want to fall here, like behind Aegon, like kind of on these rocks you want to fall. And yeah, we do survive there. So you can see we have 37 HP left, which not super comfy, but it is pretty consistent. Or like, it is consistent. I shouldn't say pretty consistent. Like, if you fall like that, you're going to be fine. I blow a skull there to get past that rat. And then we're going to get Irina. I need to eat at some point. And obviously, you know, you don't want to be jumping off the elevator here. You have not very much HP left. If you want, you can also come back later and get Irina when you have Spook available, and you can, you know, easily just fall down for free with Spook. But it's nice to do it now because it's just a little faster and more efficient in the route. So yeah, again, as much as I would like to roll off here, I can't. For the Outrider Knight here, you have two ways to get past them. So you can either go along the side here and use a Young White Branch, or you can just like dodge past them. So in this case, I didn't get the like rush attack, so I have to dodge, just kind of spam roll whatever he does. If you get the rush attack, you can like just strafe it to the left. If you don't like that at all, then the branch is like totally fine. And now we're gonna kill the Outrider Knight for the souls and the weapon. And for some reason I did 104 there instead of 105. You should be doing 105 here. So the frost visually looks kind of scary, but nothing can really hit you here except for the breath. There's another Estus cancel, by the way. And we're gonna grab this Ember up here as well. So like killing the Outrider Knight, I think it like gives you 1,000 souls when it dies, and you sell the Ember for 1,000 souls, and you sell the Irithyll Straight Sword for 500 souls. So that's like a 2,500 soul pickup right there. Like if that was just on the ground, you would get it, right? So why not do it here? Make sure you rest there so we have full HP. Because we have another drop coming up. We're going to grab this soul. And then a fairly important Titanite shard up here. Also, walk off here so you don't take damage on the drop. Because coming up, we have a drop that if you take damage before it, you would die. So we're going to grab this Titanite shard. I guess it's fine. Yeah, I'll cut that out. Damn it, dude! I'm adding. It's supposed to be a no edit guide. So I heal here anyways. Okay. Up to you. You can just heal here, or you can rest at the bonfire to get your health back. Obviously, it's a little faster just to heal. So for this, what we would like to do is skip the fall damage by quick stepping down the slope. Quick step is allowed in this run because you're not doing damage with the dagger, you're just using it as a tool. So if I do it right, yeah, there we go. So if you do it right, you can skip the damage by like having your quick step iframes overlap with when you would take the fall damage. If you don't hit it, you just want to like run a bit to the right and drop down because you'll lose a lot of health from that, which is why you might want to rest just to have your Estus available if that happens. We're going to come over here and you just want to make sure these guys aren't aggroed. The reason I rolled over that rock coming up is so the guys wouldn't aggro to me. if you kind of like stick more right, they can aggro early if they're like turned a certain way, so try to avoid that. So here we're gonna try to kill these guys. I hope we're successful. They're just hollows. I don't know why I said try. So these guys are easy. They hate fire, like they are in agony all the time. Relatable. This guy you can't lock onto, like you can, oh, I don't have my controller up, but you can see that I can't lock onto him for whatever reason, so you have to free aim the fireball here. It's good to get used to free aiming too, because there's a couple places it really comes in handy. We're gonna grab the Estus shard here, and then we're gonna go around the corner and grab the Sage ring, which is gonna help us for a couple bosses. The Sage ring just increases your cast speed. So throw a skull into the corner, and hopefully he aggroes. One time I threw a skull too far away from him, he didn't even aggro to it. So try to throw it like, you know, at the wall like that, not like super far away. Yeah, sweet. Now we're gonna do what I call crab percent. We need the book from the swamp here. For any percent, it's not like 100% necessary. You'll see why in a sec, but like you get the fire orb spell from it, and fire orb is pretty nice on watchers. I'll show you SS canceling again. So we're facing away, sip, lock on, move. Facing away, sip, lock on, move. That, you can see that one I didn't do it quite right, but it's pretty addicting once you get the hang of it. You just want to make sure when you like lock on, you're not pressing any direction. I think that plays a role in it. You can also SS cancel soul usages. Right now I'm just waiting for this crab to move. If you just run the line like I did, these guys won't aggro, and the crab will just kind of walk away. Once he's like kind of by this tree, you can just run over and he won't like notice you or anything. So this is our tome. I've never seen him walk that far. That's funny. I've heard those crabs are attracted to skulls, which I've never tried that before, but you know who else is attracted to skulls is these guys. So send them over there, go down the ladder. And what we're gonna do here is get a +3 Pyromancy Flame for Abyss Watchers. +3 is mostly because the flame does horrible scaling with upgrades. Like you get like maybe 1%, if that, per level. Kill that thing, grab the Estus shard, and then here's another Titanite shard. So you can get enough Titanite without having to buy any, which is nice for our greedy run here. We don't have to buy shards of any kind, and we don't have to go up the ladder to get the Dream Chaser ashes, or whatever they're called. I think they're called Dream Chaser. So through the swamp, normal routing here. If you've done any percent, this should be extremely familiar to you. Your health will get a little low here, so if you do want to heal at some point, feel free, or just rest at the bonfire coming up. I don't do that because I know how to manage my health to where I don't need to, but yeah, once this guy turns around, hop down, more shards. It's crazy how the route has like almost exactly 12 shards. We barely have to go out of our way for any shards. So go through here, don't need the dagger anymore. Put on the Sage ring as well. Just do that at some point before Abyss Watchers. Grab that shard as well. You can see my health is getting like a little low. I'm not super worried about it because poison is extremely slow in this game. Oh, I used all my Estus. I used all my Estus showing off Estus canceling, so I guess I will have to rest here. But if you didn't, you could just like sip once and you'd be fine. So I really hope the mic didn't pick that up. Oh, good. All right, we're gonna light this bonfire. And yeah, this is all normal, very standard stuff. A couple more shards. The early game, I would say if you're going to get hit, like it's pretty likely to happen in the early game. The Monka bosses are like Vordt, Watchers, like Sage a little bit, Deacons a little bit, and Pontiff. Like everything else is very straightforward, I would say, especially if you're familiar with the game. I probably wouldn't do this as a first run, which is kind of what I said like at the start. So, you know, light the fires. It's the Farron Swamp. Everyone knows it. Show me something interesting, Baryon. So we're gonna get this Undead Bone Shard here. This guy you can just shoot twice. Oh. And for here, I like to lock on to this central slug and throw some fire bombs to kind of kill a bunch of them at once. Fire bombs they just do a little better than fireball, just because the like AOE and the throwing angle just works out a little better in here. And then I use fireball for the rest of these guys. So should be clean in here now. Grab the shard. And then you could either bone out from there or go back to the bonfire, depending on how you feel about hidden body. I do get hidden body for this run. In my mind, it's just a tool like the dagger. If we're allowing quick step for the swamp, I don't know why we wouldn't allow hidden body. But if for some reason you are morally or opposed from a rules perspective, like using a sorcery in this run, even if you're not doing any damage, you don't have to get the golden scroll. Just, you know, just a disclaimer, Okay. Now we're going to do our little upgrades and get ready for the Abyss Watchers. So just sell everything that isn't important. Not much, I guess. You just want to make sure you have like 2 bones here. There's a lot of like fetch questing that happens in this run, so making sure you always have bones ready is like kind of something I always have in the back of my mind of like, do I have enough bones for the next part? You technically only need 1 coming up, but I just always like to have 1 extra in case I have to bone out of a certain like situation or whatever. Yeah, you don't need to actually buy anything there. All right, this is our Pyro boy. We're gonna give him the book we picked up in the swamp, and we're gonna upgrade to +3. And here's exactly what I'm talking about. Look at the spell buff number. It goes from 126 to 128, like +2 to +3. +4 would be 128 to 130. It's not even like 2%. So like, yeah, it's worth upgrading like a little bit, I guess, for the end game, but it's like if you were doing 500 damage, now you're doing 510 damage. It's not like game changing, you know? So we're gonna buy Fire Orb and Great Combustion. We are going to reinforce our flask. And then we're going to aim for 24 intelligence, which I think should be very doable. Just make sure you keep the 1 yellow Estus and the rest go into blue. It's just what I remember. And we're going to go for 24 int. I think we have enough. We do. And then we just need, for 14 attunement. So make sure you have the two spell slots on that side, on the bottom right. 14 attunement gives you 2 slots. Cool. And next we are going to go to the Abyss Watchers after we upgrade the flask a little bit. So it should give you a +2 or +3? +2. And then let's put on Fire Orb and Great Combustion. I'm gonna be 1 skull short here. Yeah, I guess it'd be a good idea to buy the skull before you come here. Doesn't matter, you can buy it after Watchers. But we need 1 skull to get through this part. And then 1 skull after. So this is like pretty normal stuff. Just wait for these guys to go up. Have a bone ready in case they like randomly turn around, which is super annoying. Not very frequent that happens, but it can happen. And then skull over here. And just run. You know, normal lines here. Okay, so Abyss Watchers. They are pretty tough. They input read everything very frequently, so you just want to be really careful about not being close to them when you attack them. Ideally, you can get the lead watcher here to idle. So he'll probably roll through this. Or he'll roll into me. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so this guy's active now. Triggered the like damage threshold. So it's a lot of running around. It's not as straightforward as the the meta no-hit run. A lot of times you'll get the main guy to aggro. So this guy might roll into this. Yep. So when they roll in, they do hyper armor. So you need to be super careful. If you're gonna hit him while he's close to you, just like, am I prepared for a hyper armor? Lovely red has decided I'm the one to go after. So if they're both on red, try to hit them with some fire orbs. Don't want to be too aggressive here. This should be fine. You can see the damage is pretty decent, but it's really offset by how infrequently you can actually hit them. Okay. I lost track of red. Like over in the corner or something. Yeah. Okay. I think I don't have the main one. Okay, so nice, easy finish on this guy. As usual with Abyss Watchers, you really just want to be patient. So we'll drink up here. Drink up again. So phase 2, we're gonna do basically backstab strats. We're gonna try to use his input reading against him. So 2 combustions and just let him roll. And he'll either do that roll input read thing or he'll roll away from you. So we just want to do normal backstab strats here and then just let him input read it. So yeah, here I'm out of FP. Oh my god, dude, that was nasty. So luckily the damage is like really good. Yeah, you just want to be very careful because he is a fucking dick, dude. So yeah, it's not like horrible, but damn it is not super fun either. And you do need a skull, so you can get it, you know, at some point. I think I'm just gonna get it when I get the Demon Ruins bonfire. I don't really need... We don't need the skull before then, so... we're gonna hop down here, kind of old school strats with no spook. I remember doing this on every run back in the day. Uphill both ways, too. So, run through like normal. And trigger this thing. Try to kill off any skellies that might follow us. Very rare that you're going to actually get something following you, but better safe than sorry. Okay, we're going to kill these rats. So what I like to do is kind of just stand here and aim all the way down. And that seems to do the trick. For these guys, it's basically the firebomb lineup. Fire Orb kind of has a weird like arc. Like it's a bit flatter of an arc than a firebomb, so kind of just have to adjust, but it's not bad or anything. You can also just use firebombs. If you just want to use firebombs, just use firebombs. I don't care. I'm going to grab this shard just because I'm going to be upgrading like higher for all bosses. Yeah, you don't strictly need it. Like you could do this entire run at +3, no problem. I just like having a little more damage, so maybe you will too. Yeah, it's not really that far out of the way because we're getting that bonfire. Make sure you get that bonfire, by the way. And I like to get my juices flowing here. Get up to full HP and FP. Don't rest at the bonfire. Hopefully that's obvious. You don't want the rats to respawn. And in case you're not familiar with the old school strats for this guy, you just want to pace around the pillar like that and then make noise once he's like kind of on the other side of it. If you trigger him too early or too late, he will aggro to you and like throw kukris at you and stuff. So he's a very dangerous enemy. You just want to be very careful. We're going to open this door, grab this soul. The skeletons will wake up, but they can't catch us, so. If you are very enterprising and really want to be a speed demon, you can go kill Wolnir now with Great Combustions. He's pretty weak to fire, so it's not a horrible fight. It's just nice to kind of get the... There's a damage ring we're about to get, and just like some levels too before Wolnir. It just makes the fight way easier. We're gonna run down here. There is a slight chance that a skeleton follows us. It's maybe like 30-70 odds. But we do need this pickup at the end of the hall here, so we have to come back and deal with the skelly. So we did not get anybody following us. Sometimes he will. If he does, you can just bait out attacks and use Fire Orb from far away. Again, we're a ranged build, so we have a lot of flexibility to do things like that when needed. That is the Witch's Ring. It's another damage ring. So now we have 3 damage rings and the Sage Ring, which is a spellcast time. So we're going to get some shards here. You can kind of get as many as you want. If you like don't want to get this one or whatever, then you don't have to. Or like any of them. Get as many as you want. Like I'll point out the important parts when we get there. I'm getting like basically all of them because I will be upgrading to +10 eventually for all bosses, but for this run it's like whatever, you know, just get as many as you want. I turn music off there so I can kind of go off the ballista. The audio helps a lot for timing the rolls for me. For this lizard, we're going to do 2 combustions. Just be careful because he can teleport away. You just want to be somewhat speedy about killing it. If you kill it at all. You don't really have to, but... The route we're going to have is going to be +5 through the Deacons. +7 for Yhorm, and then +9 or 8 maybe for Princes and Cinder. I forget if it's 8 or 9. Doesn't matter at that point because it's like 0.5% of damage. Like the number is so small at that point, it doesn't matter at all. Okay, once you hear 3 ballista, you can go. Ballistae with an AE, maybe. 1. We're gonna be aiming for the tree here. 2 and 3. Once that third one hits, you want to be off and running. I mean, if you did the any percent at +9, then it's the same route. 1, 2, and run. And then once you hit this branch, I just recover a little stamina, very small amount of stamina, and start rolling. And then, nice thing about Pyro is we can actually help kill the worm, which is fun. You just want to make sure you're in position for it. So 1, 2, just waiting out the ballista. It's 3. So you just want to stand like here, kind of where your head is at the tallest part, and then you can throw fire orbs and hit our boy. You do pretty good damage too, and switch to the Witch's Ring as well. That'll help. So just keep in mind, like throwing the orb makes you move forward, so you don't want to move too far forward, or else the ballista will just like hit you. But it speeds up the worm part a lot. It's not quite dead yet. Okay. Two. Okay. Easy worm boy. Grab the Titanite shards. For me, I'm gonna get the Demon Ruins bonfire and get this skull. I don't know if I used an extra one or if I just always have to buy one. Kind of forget, but you just want to have, going to Abyss Watchers, you want to have 2 skulls. Literally, I'm just gonna buy the skull, so the part after I get the next item is like the same for like you that it would be for me, or reverse that, same for me that it would be for you. Back to Demon Ruins. So you know, if you already had the skull in your inventory, you know, you would just grab this and then hop down. You don't have to roll the fall damage there. I just do it because it's fun. And we're gonna get the Shield of Want, which is this item that's like right here. All right, come on, bro. Okay, we got the AFK ballista. Not anymore. So we got the shield. The shield's the important part. Again, you don't need the shards. It's just nice to have the damage, and they're right here, so like why not get them in my mind. But again, upgrades in this game matter so little on the spell tools. Pyro, sorcery, miracles doesn't matter. Like, it's so bad. So here, and then here, and then that'll open that hole, and then we drop down the hole. And once you're down, you just want to branch immediately, at least before you round the corner, and then kind of chill here. We're going to wait for this guy to path down towards us, and he'll turn around, and we'll follow him. He'll turn around again, and then we'll wait, and then we'll get the item that we're here to get. So make sure you don't follow him too close, because you do make a little noise when you're in this form. Not very much, but enough that he would hear it. Stop when he turns so he doesn't see you somehow, and then go forward a little bit, and you just want to stop here because like he can see you if you're moving, so you just don't want to be seen. You know, you can play conservative. You can stop way earlier, What the fuck? Okay. He's never done that before. Whatever. You can stop way earlier if you want to and like be super safe about it if you want. Doesn't matter. Come in here, throw a skull up for these guys. And bone out. So that's why it's very important to have the bone and the skull. Now you can turn your music back on. Sell everything, again, that you don't need. I've kind of routed this to have a bit of a surplus of items, which is nice. I'm going to buy a few more skulls or a few more bones, rather, for the upcoming parts. You can buy them whenever. Don't have to buy it immediately. And we're going to upgrade to +5 if you got upgrades. Give them the book. We don't need to learn anything right now. We're going to learn before Sage. And I don't have any Estus shards, so I don't need to allot my Estus. And so we just want to have 24 int and then 24 faith now. So I want to get faith all the way up. And then anything extra you have, just put into attunement. Because we eventually want to get to 18 attunement for another slot. And then we burn the bone shard that we got from the worm, and we'll head toward Wolnir. Make sure you've got all 4 of your important rings on. For this ball, we run down kind of halfway down the hallway. Make sure there's 3 dead rats. That's 3 dead rats. If there's only 2, that means one of them survived, and that is not good for us. I just wear the Shield of Want here. The equip weight usually isn't an issue in the run. Like, you have to wear like 5 things to get over 30%, so I just keep the Shield of Want on at all times. We're going to get a better offhand tool in a bit, but you can keep both of them on, and it's like totally fine. Break that again, and let's go do Wolnir. So Wolnir is pretty easy. I would say a little easier than any percent, just because you do more damage here than at any percent. He's weak to fire. I'll make a save state just in case I pass away for some reason. But anyways, we're gonna start with 2 great combustions here, and then 1 more once his arm is in place. And we're gonna read what he does. So this one we go to the hand, and it's nice to drink up whenever you're just kind of waiting. So this one is a slam down attack. And as you can see, the damage is great. No problems. I don't know if we're going to get to the item. Okay, barely got it. So it's like 2 and then 4 and then 2 or something like that. It's like ridiculous. Oh, put the fucking serpent ring on. I didn't get it on there. It should be fine though, because there's not like... Again, we have a bit of a surplus of souls here just because of routing anxiety on my part, like wanting to make sure I had like more than enough souls to hit the specific points that I need to hit. So sell Wolnir, sell the Ember, and we're gonna go immediately to Sage. And all we want here is just to have 18 attunement. So you can see I have 20k souls left over, but again, it's just a bit of a surplus on my part. We are going to have more souls eventually, but that one you can't give anyways. Here you can buy Fire Orb. You don't need to buy Poison Mist. I am buying it for all bosses, but you don't need to buy it. I guess unless you want to poison like Sage 2 or something. I don't know. That's kind of lame though. No offense. Swap out Fire Orb for Great Chaos Fire Orb, which is like one of the best spells in the entire game. Definitely the best Pyromancy in any percent. Although Black Flame is quite strong as well. There's so many good Pyromancies. It's so nice. I usually come down here and grab the Green Blossom, although if you do that, just keep in mind the crab will aggro, which, yeah, it's not a big deal, but, you know, you don't want to, like, dawdle there. Don't want to tarry or dawdle. Spin that guy around. Here's another left-handed Pyro moment. Show you in a sec. We're gonna talk to Orbeck. If you don't want hidden body, you don't have to talk to Orbeck, obviously. But this route is a hidden body route, so if you want a non-hidden body Pyro run, go watch someone else. Or use this, but don't use hidden body. This is why we have the left-handed Pyro Flame. Come over here, throw it over the edge. Easy. Another Estus cancel for you. You don't have to worry about the Estus canceling. It's not like a huge part of the run or anything. It's just like, it's just nice for efficiency's sake. Okay, so Sage. This might be the run where you discover how memey Sage is. What we want to do is 3 Great Combustions to Sage, and then we finish them off with the Great Chaos Fire Orb after. What can happen in phase 1 is if Sage staggers weirdly, the 3 Great Combustions will like send them to phase 2. And you'll see in the crystal spawns like that it'll be weird. So I'm hoping we don't get that meme here, but if you do, you just bone out and then do this running section again and then come back to Sage. The Fog Wall Sage is a little different, but basically the same idea where you just run into this guy, and again we want 3 Great Combustions, so can just run past this. Gonna wait for him to do something. 2, 3. We did not get a stagger meme there, so we're good to go. And you just want to read the crystals, so they're over here, which means Sage is going to be over here. I do go over the crystals in my other guides, and there's plenty of resources for it, so you don't have to worry too much about it. Then for this part, I just stand like kind of far away from Sage. You don't want to get memed by Sage doing like a really quick attack. So I stand far away there and you know, get to killing. And again, because I was yapping, I forgot my Silver Ring, but you should be swapping to Silver Ring after every boss kill. It just, you know, if it gets you that extra like tick of endurance or that extra point of you know, FP or whatever, like could make the difference between a, you know, a dub or an L. So if you know, were hard against hidden body for some reason, you would just go through the Cathedral now. I'm just gonna stop assuming that people actually want that, because it's kind of a weird opinion in my mind. It's completely allowed to use hidden body, so I will use it. Here you want to go sell Sage Soul, buy the Sorcerer's Staff, and then just make sure you have like 4 Homeward Bones here. Like I usually have 4 or 5 just because I am paranoid about not having enough bones, but 4 should be fine. And then we buy these 5 items. Talk to Orbeck for the Slumbering Ring. If you're familiar with the any percent route, then this should not be news to you. Put on the Slumbering Ring and attune Hidden Body. So just make sure you have Slumbering on here. This is, like all this stuff coming up is the exact same as any percent. There's a couple like extra items we pick up, but it's not anything different. If you run 80% with Hidden Body, this will not be news to you. Coming up is an Estus Shard. So there's two ways to get it. You can either kill, like, if you aggro these enemies, this guy behind will aggro. So you can kill this guy and then kill these guys with the fire orb, or you can just like run in and grab it. It's kind of a tight grab. Like you kind of grind against this guy and then like just slam the button. But usually it doesn't take this long to get. But I'll try and... yeah, there it is. So it's just kind of an awkward pickup, but that way you do it and you don't aggro the guys. If you just don't want to bother with it and kill them with the fire orb, kill them with the fire orb. I don't really care. Drop down here. I like to get stamina to full around that enemy. And then we'll run past the Orphan of Kos. And Hidden Body here. And we're going to hop over and grab an item, actually. So we Hidden Body, drop down. We're going to run straight over here. And we're going to grab the Undead Bone Shard. Not strictly necessary for any percent, but it's super nice for all bosses to have a +6 flask eventually. It's nice for any percent too, not gonna lie. So heal up, or drink up. And then this line is gonna be the exact same as any percent. With the same Estises that I would normally do, or the same casts I would normally do. Just makes this section so nice. And we need to read the Grave Warden up here. Running to the right should be fine. Sometimes she's on like one side or another. So killing the giant is very easy, luckily. Just got to kind of aim a little over the edge like that and drink up for the fire orbs. Kind of throw when he like starts to turn his head there. Run out and then just run back in and aim for the head again. Oh. And if you put the pyro ring back on, you would have killed him. So there we go. Easy enough. I like to roll that fireball. I always check behind me because I'm paranoid about getting shot in the back. No hit running is like 99% paranoia at this point for me. Get the soul, get the Lloyd's ring, very important ring. We're going to use it for a lot of the run. We don't do early dancer on this run, so no RTSR for, you know, like Aldrich or whatever. Having Lloyd's is very important. Lloyd's, I think it works super well with Pyromancies because it's, if you didn't know, Lloyd's is an AR boost, whereas RTSR is a damage boost, and AR boosts typically are better. So Lloyd's, it's not like 10% exactly. It's like, you know, like 10%, and then there's resistance calculations, and a whole bunch of stuff happens. Send that guy to the moon. Very easy running section with Hidden Body. The only weird thing that can happen is that Grave Warden just being in a weird spot and somehow seeing you, but typically not something that happens. You just want to make sure you have 2 or 3 bones here. Ideally 3 for a few bone outs we have to do. So we're gonna do the patches trigger first. You probably know this, but if you come up here and bone out in the right spot, you will trigger patches to come to Firelink early, which is super nice. Very important here, we want to get the deep ring by killing, I forget what this fucking guy's, Doug? I think his name is Doug. The deep ring will help us with some slot swapping later. And we're just going to bone back to Last Rested. So patches will move to Firelink now after we do the tower quest. We're also going to go grab a very important item for the run, the Saint Tree Bellvine. And the Saint Tree Bellvine maxes out your cast speed, basically. It maxes out your what's called your virtual dexterity, is from what I understand. So you cast as if you had like 99 dex, basically, because dex increases your cast speed. So once we have the Bellvine, we can take off the Sage Ring because we don't need a cast speed boost anymore. Like Bellvine maxes us out, so there's no point to having the Sage Ring and the Bellvine at the same time. We can go with 4 damage rings. So just want to kill these guys. Make sure you hidden body here. We probably would be fine to run up and orb this guy, but like, you know, why risk it? Just let him do the work for you. And back to the Firelink Shrine. Unfortunately, Irina needs to die now. You can swap to the Saint Tree Bellvine as well for faster killing potential. See how fast we killed her? Wasn't that great? And now we're going to go do patches and get skulls for the Deacons. And we're also going to get extra upgrade materials. This is just for later. And, you know, if you do miss tree jump, it is a hit, unfortunately. So, yeah, 2 hits so far. Yeah, luckily we got it there. So, 2 hit run so far. So we're going to get the large shard and the chunk there. Can't even use them yet, but we have them for after Irithyll. We'll be able to go to +7. And we're going to go do patches. Patches allows us to buy skulls and black fire bombs and things like that. So very important before Deacons because we need the skulls. Otherwise, Deacons is super annoying. Once you hear the door close, you can bone. And just like a random thing, the skulls are cheaper from the Shrine Handmaiden than they are from patches, so you don't have to give the ashes. I just do it to get the prompt off. Like, they're 500 from the Shrine Handmaiden and I think 800 from patches, so it is better to buy these guys than it is to only buy from patches. You could technically just buy them like before Sage or like after Wolnir or before Wolnir. Doesn't really matter when you do it. You can forgive him, you don't need the rusted coin. So for my run, I buy 20 skulls. You do not need to buy that many. Like, that's an insane amount for an any percent. I just get 20 because there's like Grave Tender and the DLC 1 running section and stuff. You know, you can get by with like I don't even know if you need 10, but you could probably buy 10. It'd be fine. We did get an Undead Bone Shard, so we can use that there. And then we'll get Deacons going. So you can see we still have a bone here. This is in case we really fuck up on Deacons. Just make sure to get all of your damage rings on. You should have the 2 Pyro rings, the Fire Clutch ring, and then Lloyd's. You don't need it to kill this guy, but we'll need it for Deacons. So I'm gonna get the dagger. I was kind of playing around with something where you could, like, you know, kill these guys, you know, and like have a safer route through, or like maybe even like hidden body and the deep ring or something. Not super important for like non-marathon purposes, but yeah, we just go through here. You could technically do, there's like another way to get to the Deacons as well, where you like go up in the rafters, but I haven't practiced that without hidden body yet, so didn't want to you know, introduce that. Make sure you Estus up before the Deacons, and then yeah, we can cover this real quick. So for whatever reason, like, it's just a kind of a spooky fight. You have the 10 skulls, so it's not really a big problem, but if you're gonna do the coffin strat like I'm gonna do, it just like, just weird things can happen and you just like don't have enough sometimes. So, you know, I buy extra so I can bone out if I need to. But anyways, yeah, so we're gonna go in, throw a skull straight up, just straight away. I jam, literally just jam the button, and then I go for Fire Orb on this guy. You can also run up and combustion him, and now I switch to combustion, and we just want to keep throwing skulls at the coffin. You want to like alternate sides of the coffin. I've found that to be a little easier to hit the guys when I do that. I'm gonna Estus up here, and then, or you can kind of just throw it where they're not. Also works. All right, so here's the big boy. So we're gonna just do Fire Orb, Fire Orb, Fire Orb. So it's really important. Like, this would almost be easier like with mouse and keyboard, because you can like aim exactly forward. But if you don't aim forward, you'll miss him. So if you miss any of it, I would just throw another skull. You have 3 extra, right? So I would just throw another skull, and then, you know, Estus up, throw another skull, try to hit him more. I don't like the lock on because there's a million Deacons in the arena, and the odds that you actually lock onto the Deacon that you want to lock onto is like fucking 0, dude. Fucking 0. With how fast you have to do everything, like, it's way easier just to free aim and just like take a split second to line it up correctly. Okay, so clean into Irithyll. Did I remember the ring? I did remember the ring this time. That's good. For this Pontiff Beast, you can just outrun it, so we're just gonna run. The second charge he does takes him just a little short of this item, so you're totally safe here. And then just for fun, we can kill him. You don't have to, but... Is that gonna kill him? Nah. And then I like to rest here, and then I get Hidden Body and Spook. We don't need any damaging spells from here until... well, for a while. Switch the dagger to the staff. And Belvine helps with hidden body casts as well, which is super nice. So I just grab these souls. It's nice to have a little extra money. Oh, swap to the slumbering ring, by the way. Don't forget that. And you just want to hidden body through. He looked like he saw me, but that's his normal like pivot there. So, you know, it's hidden body. It is very broken. I mean, working as intended. Please no ban. And grab this soul. Titanite shard. And another Titanite shard. So now we have enough for +7. So these are strategic pickups. The pickups I've done have made it so we can get exactly +6, or exactly 6 shards after Irithyll, without having to like do all this extra stuff to pick up other ones. We're gonna get an extra undead bone shard here. There are enemies in these trees, so just be careful not to walk too close to the trees. The bone shard is behind this tombstone where this like Corvian guy is, or whatever they're called. Misbegotten from Elden Ring. As long as you're invisible, you're good. You'll be shocked to hear being invisible makes you pretty hard to hit. And we're gonna have a very normal Irithyll dungeon for the first section at least. Then we're gonna do some extra stuff. If you're familiar with my routes or my guides, this is extremely, you know, standard stuff. There's nothing special to Pyro here. For the lake, you just want to spam roll and then hold the running button afterwards. You can run while stamina recovers. Don't know why it does that. It just works. You can like run. You see I'm holding down circle as stamina recovers. And you just want to grab the distant manor bonfire here. Don't even need to rest. We can just go straight down. And hidden body and drop. You just run straight through. I believe there's also a large Titanite shard in a cell, in one of these cells coming up. I think Mikolash gets that on his all bosses speedy run, but we already have enough for this run, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, as usual, ignore the entire game with hidden body. You can just run straight through here. I like to wait because very rarely the jailer on the bridge here will just like not move at all, and she'll just be like facing you when you turn out there. So I like to do a second cast while I check the situation and just see if I need to you know, bone out or what I need to do to back out of the area. Grab these 2 bones here. We have to do a little bit of extra work in Irithyll. That's going to require some bones. I recast hidden body here so this guy doesn't chase me out. He doesn't usually try to get you if you get these bones, but being invisible definitely helps. Something that I say a lot. Dungeon skip, pretty standard. Backstep into the wall like I did. Kind of an angle. And for this, you just want to run a straight line. And you can ignore everything he does. Yep, you can ignore this as well. The only thing you have to worry about is the like poke charge attack, and for that one you just strafe it to the right. And it's a really easy strafe as well. So that was our use of Spook. Again, if you're not going to use sorceries, then you'll have to go through the dungeon like the front side. which is kind of annoying, but it's definitely doable. I've done it before. I have to do it again at points, but if I can avoid it, I do, just because it's slow and annoying and there's rats everywhere. So here's some non-meta routing. We need to go get the Jailer keyring for Carla, who is our Dark Pyromancy guide. It's kind of funny, but all 3 schools of magic have to come back here. Pyro comes back here for Carla for the Dark Pyromancies. Sorcery comes back here for this NPC up top for the Soul Spear book. And Miracles come over here for Wrath of the Gods. Oh, and Sorcery also gets the Court Sorcerer's Staff or whatever it's called. For whatever reason, there's like a important item for all 3 schools of magic, like within 50 feet of each other. It's kind of funny because you wouldn't even know this was here. So yeah, just hidden body casts through here. Nothing, there's like literally nothing special. Like you just run. There is a jailer here, but like you're too fast. They can't catch up to you and they don't see you. Okay, last rested. And now we're going to get the Dark Pyromancer Carla, and we're going to get the Dark Clutch Ring. Both of which are pretty required for Yhorm. And like, you know, Cinder, Dancer, like it helps on a lot of bosses. Especially in the non-any percent as well. Like Osiris and Champ and Wyvern and Nameless. You just use the Dark Pyromancies for all of them. We're just going to run past this Jailer. I have not yet been hit doing this. And other people do it too. But that time he didn't even see me. Which usually he'll do an attack. But in that case it didn't. But if you just run past, you know, be brave, you should be fine. Send Carla back, and then we're gonna go get the Dark Clutch Ring. So open this up. I like to open this and then I recast. I wait on the rats to kind of like get out of my face a little bit. They shouldn't see you at all, and then you can just run up here. Sometimes their pathing is a little weird. You can kill them with the fire orb if you want to. It's not necessary to do that. There are 2 ways to do the mimic here. You can either do a few great chaos fire orbs, back off, shoot another one, back off, shoot another one, or you can hidden body and then throw a couple, run away, let it de-aggro, and then throw like 2 more. I'll show you the like hidden body way of doing it. So it's hidden body, throw 2, and then back off. He'll go back into his like idling animation, and then we just do the same thing. So super easy, free, doing it like that. And that's the Dark Clutch Ring. Back to Firelink. We'll get set up for Yhorm now. Sell everything. I don't think there's too much. Yeah, you can sell the unimportant spells. Everything but Spook, what you have equipped, Great Combustion, and Poison Mist. I guess you might not be using Poison Mist, but I just have it for all bosses, obviously. We can reinforce here to +7, which takes us to a whopping, that gives us a whopping like 3% damage boost or something. And then we give Carla the book, and buy the 2 dark spells, Black Flame and Black Flame Orb, I think is what it's called. We do have an extra Estus shard, so we're going to get to 8 blue Estus, which is great. Shouldn't really ever run out of Estus now. And here we can just get attunement up to 23. The target here, the target we have is 24, but we don't need it for Yhorm. Okay, next, swap on the, put on the Slumbering Dragon Crest ring and the Deep ring. And you can also swap Fire Clutch to Dark Clutch because we need dark spells coming up. And then put on the spells in this order. So the Deep ring gives us an extra attunement slot. Make sure to upgrade your Estus as well. The Deep ring gives us an extra attunement slot. So it allows us to attune an extra spell, and then we can take off the Deep ring to de-equip the last spell we have equipped. So right now in the last slot is Spook, because we can use Spook to get down quickly to Yhorm, but we don't need it after we do that. So it's a nice easy way to like have an extra slot for a little bit and then be able to take that off. So all you do here is Spook, Skull the Wall. The flame loves the skull for some reason, even from like that far away. And then just drop here. Just make sure you drop like where I dropped and not like to the left of that, because if you're a little higher than that, you will die. I like to stare at the ground here to make sure these guys path normally and don't start acting weird. And then let's get out our damage rings. So we take off the slot here, and now you can see we have Hidden Body, Black Fire Orb, and Black Flame. So we lost Spook, but that's fine because we don't need it anymore. For Yhorm, it's a pretty simple fight. What we're gonna do is Black Fire Orb his head after certain attacks, and then we will Black Flame when he staggers. The damage is really good. The main tricky thing is actually landing the Black Flames. Okay, so this is a good attack. The standard 2-piece is a good attack. You'll hit the head doing that. This is not a good attack. So whenever he does this, I just dodge through the second one and make him turn around and try to get a better attack out of him. He should stagger in 3 orbs. So yeah, if you are behind him, he can do like a couple like weird looking moves. So 3 orbs. I've drunk Estus, and I'm here. You want to kind of like be as far away as possible when you're hitting him. So I'm gonna trigger phase 2 here, and you can just blast him too when he's doing this phase transition stuff. We're gonna need another Black Fire Orb. This won't stagger. So yeah, obviously you want to make sure you're watching for the stomp, because on phase 2 you can do it pretty regularly. And we're not quite gonna get it here. I'm just gonna back off. After staggers, Yhorm can do like weird moves. So we just want to make sure we're, yeah, there's the stomp. So we're ready to roll it. And it's a good follow-up too, so like it's pretty nice that we have that. Gonna make him turn around again. Oh, that was so fucking tricky, dude. He turned around and moved his foot and then stomped afterwards. Okay. Make him turn around again. Yeah, you just want him to like... He's in a really weird spot now. He should stagger. Nice. So, it's not too bad. It's just like getting good attacks out of him, dodging through attacks you don't like. You can also do the strat where you stand under him and, you know, he'll only do the stomp and the like guillotine slam down. So, yeah, it's not too bad. It's a pretty fun fight, honestly. Hitting the Black Flames is the hardest part. Like, you just miss so much if you are too close or too far away. Or if you're at a weird angle, or if the game doesn't feel like it today. Like a lot of reasons why. Okay, so now we'll get to 24 attunement. And I like to get my endurance up a little bit here. The endurance is going to be nice for Aldrich, just to try to do the 1 cycle. The odds we actually get it are pretty low, but we will try to do it. I'll show what that looks like. We're still at 24-24 for the damage numbers. I like to keep that fairly consistent. You can level more damage if you want to, but having 24 attunement now is pretty important because it's going to let us spec ourselves out for Dancer. Make sure Slumbering is back on. And you can just hidden body through here. I'm going to get the poop ashes for all bosses. Not really necessary, but especially for any percent, it's not super necessary because you really would only use it on like 3 bosses at most. Because you don't even get RTSR until before DSA. But I like having the poop for easy RTSR setups. Optional if you want to get it. Gonna keep running here. You don't need to hidden body yet. Just hidden body once you're at this set of stairs here. And walk into the corner. You just don't want to drink like too frequently because we are going to take this RTSR past Pontiff and into Anor Londo. So like, you know, normally you might be used to like drinking there because like you just don't have a lot of FP on a like normal any percent run, but we have a lot of FP, so we should make use of it and be conservative with the Estus. But you have 8 Estus plus 6, so like you have a lot of total damage and total FP available. Okay, so here's Pontiff. And Pontiff is probably, at least when you start, Pontiff is like probably one of the scariest bosses. Oh, nice job, asshole. Accidentally clicked that on my controller. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna roll the opener and then kind of get into like a fairly long range with Pontiff. And he'll just like walk toward you. He'll lore walk at you at that range. And his like charge, his opener charge is kind of on a timer. You'll get kind of like an internal sense for it, but I'll show you what the fight is supposed to look like. So I'm going to trigger him here, and I'm just going to walk back because I want to have a lot of room to run back after I roll through the opener here. So I'm going to put like some lava on the ground for him because he'll just run through it. And he didn't run through it that time, but it doesn't really matter. So as you can see, I'm staying at this range where I'm not going to get any of his other attacks, and I'm going to wait because his charge attack is on a bit of a timer, and he could do it after a certain amount. So we're at that range again. He should phase. I'm going to keep hitting him. He can do an attack here, so just watch out. This is the sweep attack, which is fine. He should summon pretty soon. He doesn't have to necessarily. Here it is. So that might not kill him. We'll see. Yeah, so now we're back here. We just want to wait for him to summon or do something easily punishable. You could go on that attack if you wanted to. Here's the opener again. But it's like, dude, I'm just going to wait for him to summon because, yeah, it's just super easy to just wait. So, not super, like, annoying or whatever. It's just, He's just a little spooky. He's just a little spooky. And again, we've got all the soul equipment on for getting souls after bosses and stuff. If you're for some reason out of Estus, I don't know how you possibly could be, but if for some reason you're out of Estus, you can rest after Pontiff. It's just kind of a waste of time to do that, but we're just gonna run through here. Very normal Anor Londo. If you're familiar with the run, make sure slumbering is on. As usual, this guy will hear you, so just make sure slumbering is on. And I've tried to make this a one cast run here, but it just doesn't quite work, unfortunately. So we do need 2 casts to get up here. But as you can see, the knights here don't see us at all. Don't shoot at us. So that's the nice thing. Hidden Body makes the running section so easy. We don't need the Easterner Ashes because we're already at +7. We don't have to upgrade anything else. Pop the soul, get the ember, and then you want to put on the deep ring at this point. We are going to do the swapping trick again to get an extra spell slot temporarily. In this case, Hidden Body will be the fatality, sadly. So the idea here is, after we kill Aldrich, right, we're going to be teleported to Dancer's Arena. Dancer is extremely weak to dark spells, but fairly resistant to fire. So it would be nice if we could have the fire spells for Aldrich, and also have a dark spell for Dancer, and also have Hidden Body to get through here without having to worry about being like hit, obviously. So what we do is we put on the deep ring, we put on the 2 fire spells for Aldrich, we put on a dark spell for Dancer, and then we put on Hidden Body in the last slot. So that when we take off the deep ring, Hidden Body will disappear, but we'll have the other 3 spells. So it's like one of those, it's like not necessary at all to do this. Like, it's very fine to just do this part without Hidden Body. Like, you do it in SL1, it's simple, like, but it's like, it's just that extra bit of you know, back of your mind safety of just like, dude, I'll never be hit here. Like, I hope. But I'll never be hit here because like the enemies don't even attack you. Like, maybe I'll get hit to Aldrich, but you know, it's whatever. Got the fire ring on. You can do all your rings at the fog gate because the enemies won't see you. Even if they do see you, for whatever reason, they can't hit you at the fog gate. Like, they just hit the bottom of the stairs, or the top of the stairs. Should turn around there. So we want to take off the deep ring, and then now we have Great Combustion. So what would be great is if we can hit, if we can hit his body 3 times, but it looks like that's probably not going to happen. We can hit it twice here at least. Oh yeah, that was not a great one. Oh my god, dude. So that was like, what, 1100? Like, that 1550 or so. So I don't know, you can like punch him or something. Yeah, you get pretty good damage from punching. Punching is allowed, by the way. You're allowed to use the melee attributes of your spell tools in spell runs. I like using a green blossom here because I think it helps with the phase transition. But we have Chaos Fire Orb ready. And we're just waiting for Aldrich to do the attack that we want him to do. So I'm going to turn him around here so we have a bit of a runway. And Just keep munching on these blossoms while we wait. And you can also go on this attack. It's a little less efficient because he doesn't get hit by the lava pool that the fire orb leaves, but it does work. You don't really have any other place to use the blossoms, so like why not here? And you can get a one cycle out of it, which is nice. But we'll have to see what he gives us. God damn it, dude. He really likes to stall. Okay, here we go. So you just want to be up in his body here and get all of these off and then switch to Great Combustion at the end. And we got him. So yeah, that's the one cycle. 3 Great Chaos Fire Orbs. I think either 1 or 2 lava hits, and then swap to Great Combustion, and the stamina regen from the Blossom gets you the 1 cycle. Super nice. That might be a part where having +7 helps. I honestly don't know if you could get that kill with plus like 3 or whatever. All right, keep your soul stuff on. And we are straight into Dancer. Dancer might be the most fun fight because of how insanely, how insane her resistance to dark is. It's like negative like 50% or whatever. It's fucking ridiculous. What we're gonna do is 2 black flames once we have like a chance to. We're gonna do 2 black flames, and then we're going to sip Estus to prepare for the phase transition. And we should be able to nuke her down completely during the phase transition. So you saw what I did there is I delayed the punish so she would maybe do another attack. And then that allowed me to do another attack prior to phase transition, but it literally is not even necessary. Like, you can kill her even if you don't do that. But you can see how crazy strong Dark is against her. Like, insanely strong. So that's why we don't do early Dancer, because we get that kill. It's really not necessary, and we get that kill out of it. And that kill is very fun. And video games are supposed to be fun. If you have the poop ashes, now is when you could buy poop. For all bosses, like, don't do what I'm doing here. I buy like 200 of these for all bosses and 20 of these. Get like, you know, like 50 and 4 or something like that. And then I also buy 10 bones, but you don't need to buy bones for any percent. Okay, so here we want to do 30 and 30 on int and faith. So we'll get those up. I think 30 might be a soft cap. I'm not quite sure. But we want to get some damage for the upcoming fight. Make sure we have no more Estus upgrades that we need. And we're gonna do this whole running section, including DSA. We're gonna do the archives all the way up to the princes, and then we're gonna bone out of the princes all in one FP bar. With Estus, obviously. So you can just show how nice it is to extend out the running sections if you're smart about conserving FP. And you could even save FP here, like just skull these guys or whatever. It doesn't really matter what you do. Hidden Body just makes this very comfortable running section. We are going to grab some chunks. You don't have to, again, like, if you're not upgrading as much, then like don't worry about it, but you know, I get +10 eventually, so the chunks are here. Why not get them in my mind? So just kill all these guys. Cast Hidden Body. Kill this guy as well. Kill these guys. Very easy. Drink up. We're going to body again. And you can just fire orb the archers here. And as you can see, this guy is unable to see you. Super easy. You can do that on with the twin blades as well. Like you just hidden body, then run up and L1 them. More chunks. And we're gonna do a fairly normal Lothric castle. There isn't really anything to get besides RTSR here. Just making sure I have slumbering on. Greedy soul pickups. I like to stand up here to trigger the hollows. These hollows ignore hidden body. So if you don't skull them, they will chase you and try to kill you. So for that reason, I hidden body and skull there, and get that soul if you can. I missed it there. I also skull this wall, so the hollows won't like somehow follow me after that as well. There is a soul there. It's probably like, I don't even know, like 5k or something. 10k, maybe. I don't know. The souls here are worth a lot for some reason. I guess it's an endgame area, but you know, you get to a point where like the levels don't matter at all. Like once you have 30 and 30 in the damage numbers and you have 24 attunement, so you have enough slots to like make it through all the sections, there's really no like nothing to worry about. I send the elevator down. There's actually like literally no reason to do that because if you get hit, you die. But I guess if you're doing like limited hit runs or whatever, you can do that and you know, come back up if you get hit by DSA or whatever. Chunk there. Set up RTSR however you want to. I'll use the dung pies to set it up for myself, but doesn't really matter. Swap to RTSR. And then use a moss clump to cure the toxic. And yeah, now we have DSA. So I probably shouldn't have used that Estus because you can, we're gonna do 3 Great Combustions to DSA. I also turn music off and turn up sound effects because we have to do a little bit of phase 2 work on DSA. We're gonna do 3 Great Combustions, and then we're gonna do a punch to kind of set up his phase. And then after that, we're just gonna try to burst him down with Great Combustion. There might be a bit of phase 2 involved depending on the RNG, but you know, it's a little harder than any percent. Like a meta any percent, I mean. Okay, so 400 there is pretty nice. Missed a bit of damage, unfortunately. So 3 Great Combustions. Oh! Bit spooky. We want to use an Estus here. So we have enough Estus to finish the fight after phase 2 starts. Now we will begin phase 2. Okay, got beautiful RNG there, so no need to worry about phase 2. If you don't get the strafe, you know, it's phase 2 DSA that needs to be in your bag, in your toolkit a little bit. I do cover phase 2 in my SL1 guide. but you're gonna have to read the audio cues from the butterflies, things like that. In that case, DSA gave us like awesome RNG, so you can see that the fight can end very easily, which is nice. We're about to also do another trick, which may or may not be familiar to you. But we are going to... We don't really have a great way to kill the Sage, unfortunately. We could potentially do Great Chaos Fire Orbs and try to kill her here and try to kill her through the floor up there, but there is a trick that it's just good to know for Dark Souls 3 in general, which is the Sage de-aggro trick. I like to heal up here so I don't forget later. Switch to Lloyd's as well. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to dodge the Sage's melee attacks and slowly pull them back onto the stairs here. So we just want to keep baiting out melee attacks and just dodge. This is a 3-piece. The flash sword is has like a blue light on it. Makes it pretty easy to see. And we just want Sage to be on this second set of stairs here. So now Sage will de-aggro and won't teleport when we make it upstairs. So we can hidden body, go through here. You don't have the hidden body for this part. Like, you can just run and they can't really hit you. But if you want a hidden body, why not, you know? So at this point, Sage will de-aggro and won't do their normal teleport to the second location, which allows us to go through safely. And come up here. We want to wait for the candle guy. Who... This happened last time too. I don't know why this guy isn't... Yeah, he's not like spawning, dude. I don't understand. But you want to wait for him to just path down toward you. You can just wait off to the side. You're not at risk here. There's no timer. The Sage like can't teleport for whatever reason. I will say Sage will teleport once you drop down onto the bridge, but Sage at that point will teleport to the second location, not the third location, which will allow you to get by safely. So you can see we're still on the same FP bar here. We haven't rested at all. And then we kill the candle guy. You can also just hidden body and run past the candle guy. It doesn't really matter what you do. So now Sage will pop over there, but you can see Sage is still de-aggroed. It's like a weird AI break or something. I don't know how it works, like the mechanics of it. But, I mean, we'll take it, right? So we hidden body, run through here. You can see Sage still not doing anything. So the trick with Sage here, it's very nice for like any low damage run or any run where it's not easy to kill the Sage. Being able to just de-aggro them and just like have an easy way through, like no matter what build you have, is super nice. If you want a super safe way, you can also just like go to the side and use Poison Mist, but like that fucking takes forever, dude. Like Poison Mist is so bad in this game. But technically would work. Don't turn this way. Nothing here you care about. Okay. Soul pickup. And 2 chunks here. I don't know how many chunks we're at, but might be enough to go to +8 before Princes. So Sage is still on the second location now, and is actually aggroed to us, but can't actually hit us, which is nice. Because the floor is right there. You can also turn your game sound back down and turn music back on. And 2 more hidden body casts to get through the rest of the running sections for any percent. You can see in-game time-wise, like, it's like a 2-hour run. It's not too bad. I stopped quite a bit to explain things as well, so, you know, probably more like a 150 route, but, you know, stalling and longer Yhorm fight, you know, things kind of... Oh, and Aldrich, dude, I probably wasted like 2 minutes on Aldrich. From here, you can either fight princes straight up, which is, you know, fun enough, I guess, if you really like doing that for whatever reason, or you can bone out of princes and do the cheese. I will be discussing the cheese in this run because it is kind of specific and a little janky. But regardless, fight princes however you want to, I guess. I'm not going to judge you either way. For that bone out, we just jam square until you see Shrine Bonfire, and then you press X to go. Okay, so now I am going to go do tree balls for all bosses. I will probably just cut this out of the video anyways, but for all bosses, we need the transposing kiln. So I want to kill tree balls before we have to detonate the shrine. All right, your boy had the worst Greatwood fight of all time, but somehow survived. Okay, so, you know, at this point, you know, if you want to upgrade the flame and you have the chunks for it, you can go over here and do that. Don't think I can even buy anything anymore. And at this point, it's kind of up to you what you want to level. For me, I'm going to get more attunement for a bigger FP bar, and then I'm also going to get endurance. That helps a lot with all bosses. If you want to do more damage, you could also do the just more Int and Faith, just kind of level them next to each other. But it doesn't really matter. At this point, just level whatever you want to level. So you can set up RTSR for the princes. And like I said, I'll be going over the cheese here for the princes. Just a note, if you're going to make a save state for the cheese, make it out here. Don't make it close to the boss room, because the save state messes up the start of phase 2. So phase 1's pretty easy. You can just chuck fire orbs at Lorien while he approaches. Like normal start, just roll back into the door. Once he gets about to this point, I start throwing. And then switch to Great Combustion here. Okay, dodge the things. Sip your drink. It's a good place to blossom here, but you're gonna see this is kind of a weird cheese for phase 2. So basically the idea is to pivot the left analog stick around so you only hit Lothric. It's okay if you hit Lorien sometimes, but you don't want to be consistently hitting like only Lorien, for example. So basically kind of like, obviously you're holding forward to roll, but then you kind of just pivot your stick around to the side to hit Lothric. My stick, like, it never returns to center. I just pivot around the outside of the controller. You can kind of see in the controller overlay what I do. And, you know, the goal is to hit either only Lothric or both Lorien and Lothric. And then if Lorien, for some reason, dies first, you can just chuck fire orbs at Lothric, and he should die pretty quick after that. So it's kind of a weird cheese. It's a bit of a like feel thing, but it's not too bad once you like kind of know what you're doing. You will have to like drink Estus at one point during it, unfortunately, but as you can see, there was like time to do that and stuff. Okay, so now we are going to get ready for Cinder. Cinder's a very fun fight on Pyro. Cinder, as you probably may know, is weak to dark, or at least not super resistant to dark. For all bosses, I'm giving Ludlith the transposing kiln that I got from Greatwood, but not important for any percent. You can place the cinders, try to skip it like I do if you want. Except I messed it up there. And yeah, at this point you can go sell any of the souls that you have, and you can get our final levels ready. Don't need to buy anything. We're just gonna level up a little bit and then go to Cinder. I like more endurance here. 30-30 is a nice damage level, and then having the endurance on top makes it nice and easy to, you know, punish adequately. From here, if you just bone to Bonfire Last Rested, you will go straight to the kiln, which is great. Don't know why it works like that, it just does. It's almost like a wrong warp, but like there's no like frame perfect input or anything. And then you just want to get the dark spells out, start setting up RTSR, damage rings out, make sure you have dark clutch on. The biggest mistake I see most people making is forgetting to put on the right clutch ring, like keeping fire clutch on when you have a dark fight or vice versa. And yeah, now we can do Cinder. So it's a pretty quick fight. The damage is really good on Cinder. I'll turn off the music so I can focus. Yeah, the only thing to keep in mind is like cast speed is just a little slower than it is on melee. So there's like some attacks where you kind of want to be careful, like on phase 2 especially, because if Cinder does the kick, for example, you might not be fast enough to roll it. So yeah, I'll just show the fight. I mean, it's quite straightforward, I would say. You can chuck a fire orb at the beginning. It's weird not hearing the music. So most attacks we're just going to punish with Black Flame. And you'll see that Black Flame staggers super easily, which is really nice. Yeah, it's basically just a normal Cinder fight. Like, but we already got a stagger there. Spear phase. Nothing too crazy with spear phase. Watching for the double spin there. Pyro. Pyro's kind of nice because you can actually like punish some attacks. You can punish like the poison mist, for example. This, so you can just do 2 things. Yeah, if he does Poison Mist, I'll just show you. You can just, like, shoot him. Oh, boy. How is that not enough, dude? Don't come back. Oh, man. I should have enough for 2 Black Flames. Here, but you can sip if you need to. It doesn't really matter. Nice. We got Senile Cinder. And he's canceled his opener. Love it. It's okay, I don't like damage anyways. Why would I want to damage you? So in that case, normally I would go behind Cinder there and back up. But because his back is to a wall, it's just not a good like position for that. So in that case, it was smarter to run away from the lightning. But it's Cinder, dude. Like, you know. Like, it's just a normal fight. Whoa! Super weird angle. He's doing it again. I have to back off again because again his back is to like a wall or something. Yikes. He still hasn't done the get away from me. Oh no, he has done that actually. Yeah, I don't know. It's not a super like intense fight. If you fire orb him during this, he can input read it. The explosion is also a bit of a shield for him for some reason. It like deflects the fire orb. I don't know why, but it does. It's being very like aggressive again. All right. So there it is. Dark Souls 3 no hit run. I'm getting my soul gear out. But yeah, it's a very fun run, as you can see. Like, just a lot of fun to you know, blast the enemies with pyro and shit. So yeah, hope the guide helps you, and you know, best of luck. Peace out.